Hey everybody, how's it going today? I figured I might as well hop in and play a little bit of rapid chess today. So I'm jumping in to the 10-minute pool, going up against Pato Psych 18, who is playing 1d4. And let's hope to get something very interesting. I just bought this shirt. I thought actually it would make me look nice. I think on the camera, it makes me look fatter than I really am. Trust me. I thought it was nice. I don't know. You can let me know what you think of the shirt. But first, let's go up against the London. And I've played c6, which my idea is quite simply to bring out my knight. But I'm not playing c5 because I don't want any knight c3, knight b5 shenanigans. But since this was the point of my move, I guess I'll continue with it. Wow! Opponent was hyper ready. I guess I telegraphed my move. He was just ready for it. But I kind of like this system against the London because you're guaranteed to get a completely different kind of game that perhaps the London player is hoping to do. They just want to bring out all their pieces and make a triangle. So my top goal is to just try to make it undesirable to make a triangle right away. And I'm also considering just going after this guy right away, because if you go back here, I mean, it's just kind of silly. And if you go back here, I might still be able to chase you down. And I can try to argue that there's some value in having the two bishops. So let's hunt down this guy. And unless you're really actually going to go here and go in the way of your pawn, I'm probably going to end up winning it. Because if you come back to g5, I play h6, I play g5. I try to hunt down the bishop, and I'll eventually be able to take it. I don't think I'm too terribly worried about these doubled pawns at all at the moment. My rook now is a little bit more active. This prevents white from ever castling queenside. If they do want to castle queenside, probably they'll have to waste time. And wow, wouldn't you know it, the opponent has put their bishop on e3. I really didn't think that they would, but it's kind of an interesting idea. So f5 is kind of like the crazy move, just threatening to trap this bishop. But I honestly am not exactly sure what they're going to do. Like, they might just play, like, d5 there, opening up the bishop. But I can probably just play knight d7. I don't know. Let's play f5, which is wild. Obviously, a normal setup is, like, g6 and just kind of doing this. But if I'm going to be playing g6 at some point, maybe g6 and f5 will actually combine well together. And I'm just going after the bishop. My whole plan is Operation Win Your Dark Squared Bishop. Another way that the opponent could do it is they could move this knight somewhere. I don't know where they would go, but, you know, knight could go somewhere. And then this bishop would have a retreat square in the event of pawn to f4. But that's not too worrying at all. So we'll see what the opponent comes up with. All right, I think this also makes a lot of sense. So the opponent is going to be doing some setup, which at least I've gotten them out of whatever London system setup they might be familiar with. And that's kind of important to me. I'm wondering at some point if I even can put this bishop here, targeting this pawn. I just want to kind of be a nuisance. So I think I will. This bishop, I think, is going to go over here. So I'm just going to target the a2 pawn and see if we can provoke some weaknesses. And it looks like we have. Cool. And I might be able to do something on the light squares in the future with this knight. And just kind of a lot of restricting. I actually think I'm going to begin with this move. And this is the pawn structure I'm kind of imagining in my head. One day maybe I can play for e5, but I think we'll get to spend a lot of time now developing and making a lot of just developing moves. Let's get this guy out. Let's get castled. And then let's begin bringing the knight over to the queen side, which actually bringing it over right away is interesting. I've just spotted that if my knight goes here, it could be awkward to defend. But now they'll be able to defend from this square. So I guess the opponent is going to be playing here. So if I want to stop it, I could play the highly unusual rook to a4. Because it looks like they're going to play c4. Am I worried about that? I could just let them play c4 and carry on with life. They take back with a knight. I can just castle. This seems very reasonable. But the whole opening has been strange, so I don't want to deviate from the plan of playing strange. I'm fighting against the idea of c4. And I'm going to be bringing this guy out and castling. This knight is still going to probably be trying to weasel its way into the light squares over here. So I'm expecting the knight to come out. I probably will put my bishop here, get castled. And once we get to that position, I'm not exactly sure what white's long-term plan will be. If I am, I'm just noticing. I'm just trying to find things about this position. If I am ever castled, something like this pawn could be attacked. So it might actually make sense to play h6, stopping a knight from coming in, but also a bishop that could potentially attack my e-pawn in the future. So I'm going to play h6. Okay, the opponent plays h4. At some point, I should come back here. Actually, you know, I should go here and finally try to win this bishop. Operation Win the Dark Squared Bishop has not ended. I can always go here now. But I do want to think about if I actually want this structure, because then my g-pawn might end up being weak. So we shall see. I think I might not do it right away, but instead make some other moves. This thing almost certainly goes here, so this is probably my next move. Like if they castle, I think bishop g7 is probably my next move. There's some small chance that the knight would go somewhere other than d7, so I think in order to be as flexible as possible, my next move is probably here. Like if they castle, I'm expecting like normal moves, but really nothing normal has happened this entire game. It's been kind of a really weird one. I think they're moving this guy back. I don't know where this guy's going. So I'll put this guy here. And then continue with this operation. They did put this guy back. That means they want to move this pawn. But where? If they play e3, they're burying their own bishop. So I don't really get it. If I wanted to go and attack the bishop, I could still go do it. So I'm a bit confused by some of this, but maybe they just really want a knight here? I don't know where the knight's going, but okay. So kind of a very strange game. But I will soon get my knight here. And I think I actually want this bishop here then. Which maybe that's why their knight has come here. I don't know. I bring in my knight. And my next move might be here, because I do want to make this trade. I want a bishop here, so that when I put my knight here... Ooh, but I do have to worry about b3 right away. Wait, this might be a good square for a knight. So I'm keeping an eye on this bishop. So if this knight ever moves, I can take the bishop. But my real plan is probably to play g5. And I haven't castled, and I'd be very happy with an open h-file. And I'm just going to try to dislodge this knight. This becomes a possible move if I'm not worried about b3, because I have the idea of taking here. And if you ever take here, I mean, this becomes a possible idea. And then somehow I could do some long-term pressure on this guy. But that's probably not the greatest place for me to be. I don't know. I feel like the opponent is going to make some unforced error here at some point. Because we've both been playing kind of weird. Interesting. So if I want to move this bishop away, I might as well do it now. Because I can go here and then move somewhere else. But I'm not sure where I would go. I could try going here. Because if b3, I can take this. And if here, can I take with the bishop? If b3, I take here? No, this would work out well for them. Okay, let's go here. Threatening to remove the defender of the bishop. Doing some aggressive stuff on the king side. And if the goal was to get the London player out of their comfort zone, they haven't even established the triangle. So g5, I think, it becomes very difficult. This piece is so awkward. Like, you probably need to defend it, because it's getting very awkward. And you're probably really happy if I trade my knight for your bishop, because the bishop is so bad and my knight is so good. So I guess this becomes a very possible move for the opponent, because I'm not going to ever take this. You just take back with the knight, and not that much incentive to push the knight away right away and open up this bishop. They might actually capture my knight, because knight is so annoying. They open the h-file, which is mildly surprising. And, okay, I threaten g4 again. And the opponent just has a lot of awkward pieces. Like, this knight, I'm actually not exactly sure what it's accomplishing here. They save the bishop that way. Interesting. So if I go here, I guess they want this, attacking my pawn. So I could just tidy up the position a little bit by going here. So now if I ever want to play g5, you can't go here because I'll be able to win a pawn. So just a little tidy move there. And we'll see what they come up with. So I don't want to trade. It looks inevitable now. I wonder if I can take and play here. Because where does the knight go? I'm going to have to be careful because this f-pawn is going to be weak. And the bishop really wants to take it. But I'm just hoping to put this knight on one of these awkward squares. And to get my bishop active this way, and to get these light squares open to me. And we'll see if I'm able to do anything with this. So the knight goes back somewhere. My pawn is getting loose. But if you go back here, I might be able to start with this move. I didn't actually mean to drop it there. I was trying to think, like, wait a minute, is there any way of setting up threats here or something? But I'm going to continue with e5 in order to defend my pawn. And if this thing ever takes, maybe one day I can swing my rook over somehow. It's possible, with all these pieces kind of trapped on the queen's side. I'm looking at this guy. If I could just somehow get my other rook back, maybe I'm no longer happy on a4 as much as I used to be. Oh, wow. Well, so now I can go here. And you have to be worried about this threat. So let's start with this move. See how they try to get out of this. My threat is to go here. So are you going to move to this file? You are. And I have a simple question. If I just try to get my other rook into the game, is there anything you can do that scares me? You can take everything you want. Just do anything you want. Maybe I'm not quite fast enough. I also have here. If here I can take this. I'm going to try this move. I'm not too worried about everything opening up. Because if all this opens up, also some diagonals might open up for my pieces. And I'm not worried about b3 because I'm going to take this. So I'm going to take this. This was my idea. And then I think it gets awkward. Because if you take, I'm going to take here. And if you take with the rook, you lose a knight. And if you take with the bishop, I might be able to put this pawn here. And I'm trying to set up a mating net. But maybe I should take this back first, just to be safe. I'm actually up material here. The king is stuck on the H file. I just need to start getting a rook to an active place. Or I could go here. Does here threaten this and here? I believe it does. So this actually makes a huge threat. Because if I go here, you can't come up here or here. You would have to go back, and you would walk right into a checkmate. So I'm trying to set up a net. And I'm not exactly sure how you get out of this. Like, if you go here, I can play here. And you're just kind of stuck. My next move will be here. So I'm pretty sure white at least should be losing a lot of material here. And yeah, I don't really know what to make of this game. It was kind of weird, but in a good way. And I think the problem now is that I threaten this, but you can't move anywhere. No, I do take... Ooh, if I take back, he's got here. I understand. Okay, so I go here to win material. I need to be careful not to open up the E file at some point and then blunder a piece. So let's take here. And I guess we'll take this one time, but not twice. I won't take it twice. I will instead go here. Trying to continue pushing this king back. So I will go here. The rook is boxed out. I'll keep giving a check. And then I need to get my bishop here. Oh, that move works. All right, I let the king out of the box. A bit sloppy. But we should be able to win this now. Okay, I can take this guy now. Because now if I get pinned, I'm close enough to keep this guy defended. I can always go and win more material here. And the opponent has had enough. Okay, I actually want to take a look at this. It was a really weird offbeat London system. And I really want to analyze it because I'm wondering if this was all right or if this was just all pure nonsense. Let's take a look. And I guess we might as well use the Patzer database. If you look in the Masters database, this has only occurred 3 times. Masters database, not very helpful. But black wins every time. No, there's 1 draw. But it scores very well. And the whole point of this system is to get them to something that they might not be used to. So here I played d6. And I'm already better after 5 moves. After this queen trade, which is not the most common way, it actually gives me an advantage. So that's kind of cool. And it felt like this A file actually did end up helping me quite a bit. But now we're going to get funky with it. I played here, which is not entirely a novelty, but in the only other human game that's ever been played, somebody went here. And it just looks strange to me. I feel like you should either go here and provoke h6 g5, or you should just drop back and accept that I'm going to take your bishop. But he didn't want it. And f5 is correct. I'm actually kind of surprised, but I'm just simply going after this guy. And at some point, I'm going to be setting up this structure. Okay, this move is fine. This is all fine. We're actually playing reasonably well. Wait, what has come over me? I doubt that this is the right move. I should probably allow c4, but in the spirit of kind of weirdness, I decided to go for all of this. And wait, we actually somehow played a somewhat decent game of chess against the London. So hopefully you guys do like this system. You can let me know if this is something that you would play in the comments below. I want to see if there's any real big tactics missed. F4 is correct. Wait, we played a lot of good moves. It's been a long time since I played a game with a lot of good moves. But yeah, we just kind of set up this mating net against the king. Found a little bit of the tactics, and everything really worked out for the most part. So I hope you liked it. It's kind of a fun way to get the London people out of their prep. And if you did like it, please make sure to subscribe. We're very close to 5,000 subs, and it would mean a lot to me. See you later.